Let me show you what a little bit of what Kyle said. Okay.
I've disagreed with Mattis and agreed with Trump, like Syria. Trump said he wanted to get out of Syria. Mattis said, I don't want to get out of Syria. So there's issues where it goes the other way. But on this one, Mattis is 100% correct. Also, Defense Secretary Mark Esper was like, no, that's not a good idea to deploy the U.S. military. Again, I've heard from people in the military through the grapevine, no, this is not what we do. We're trained to kill. You don't deploy the U.S. military domestically. And by the way, that's not me saying you should deploy it overseas all willy-nilly like we currently do. No. So it should only be used for self-defense. But deploying it at home, just so everybody understands, that's not something that's supposed to be within the realm of reasonable discussion or debate or discourse. That's supposed to be out of bounds. Why? Very simply, the first...
No, I'm going to stop you right there. He just said that deploying the military in the U.S. is something that should be out of bounds, out of the realm of discussion. Yeah. So should deploying the military in Syria and Afghanistan and Iraq and Somalia and all the other fucking countries and the 800 military bases. That should also be outside of the realm of discussion. I want you to be just as offended, if not more, at your military being deployed outside the United States, because that is a greater injustice by a million times. Do you understand? That's my fucking point. Putting your army in other people's countries and bombing them is way worse than them cracking down on American protesters. If the American army cracks down on Americans inside America, that's your fucking issue. But when you bomb other people, that is way fucking worse. How the fuck are you not seeing that? Am I losing my mind?
Guys, deploying the U.S. military on streets in America, that's deeply against the First Amendment. Deeply against it. Why? Because the First Amendment, it protects our right to peacefully protest. And like I just explained to you, they're not going to differentiate. If the military's called in, they're not trained or able to distinguish and differentiate and say, no, those people are being peaceful. Those people are not. We're going to go after those people. No. To steal a phrase that Obama used early on in his term, you need...
Again, I'm going to stop you right there. The police, the riot police, the cops, all of them that you are seeing in the videos beating the shit out of everyone are also not distinguishing between anyone. They're beating journalists. They're beating women. They're beating anyone who's a bystander. They're beating everyone. Everyone. The police. So what fucking difference would it make? It's the same shit. It's already happening. And again, let me explain this to you, man. Look, Kyle and Crystal are very smart people. They know how bad Biden is. But isn't it interesting that the tipping point, the line for them is when Trump deploys troops inside the US? What? Hold on a second. Why is that where you draw the line? Why is that the point where you say, oh, okay, maybe Biden is better? Better for who? Better for who? Biden is not better for black people. Biden is not better for Syrians, Iraqis, Afghanis. Man, it's just mind-boggling.
Using a hatchet. So make no mistake about it. If the U.S. military is called into U.S. streets, they would absolutely crack down on peaceful protests, which, let me reiterate, is unconstitutional. You can't do that. That's...
Oh my God, man. Do you look, again, it's this whole idea like, oh, our Constitution. Oh, we're the best country in the world. Our Constitution above everything else. No. Slow down there. So what about the UN Charter? What about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? What about international law? What about the Geneva Convention? What about the Hague Convention? Fuck your Constitution. That stuff is way more important. Why don't you draw the line where, oh shit, Joe Biden bombed, he took 2 wars and turned it into 7, right? Joe Biden orchestrated the Iraq war. That should be where you draw the line. Not, oh, the army is in our streets now. What? So, like, oh my God, how dare you put the military in our streets? Okay, now I'm going to vote for Biden because you crossed the line. What? No, you should have been offended before that when the military was deployed on other people's streets to oppress them and drone strike them and bomb them. That's where you should draw the fucking line. How the fuck is this not obvious? The Constitution. What the fuck? Dude, do you know that Obama and Biden prosecuted more journalists than all other previous administrations combined? Isn't that an affront? Is that not an attack on the First Amendment? Joe Biden personally picked up the fucking phone and called European leaders and told them, don't let Snowden in. Don't give him asylum. He personally fucking chased after that journalist. That's not an attack on the First Amendment? What about Ferguson? What about Standing Rock? What about Occupy Wall Street? They bashed their fucking heads in. They used tear gas. They did everything you're seeing right now. Biden and Obama did that. We've tested that. He's been in the fucking Oval Office. It's not some hypothetical. This shit happened. He violates the First Amendment just as much as Trump. There is no fucking difference. What are you talking about? I'm going to lose my mind.
That's not allowed. That's not accepted. The whole point of the First Amendment is that notion is off the table. Get it out of your mind. Don't even consider it. The government cannot shut down peaceful protests. So now, again, let me reiterate something. When it comes to looting and rioting, I agree. Looting is bad. Rioting is bad.
Look, man. Also, Trump is not the first person to deploy the military. Okay? Insurrection Act has been used many times before. Last time it was used, I told you, it was George Bush Sr. Now, yes, you want to argue about the technicality about who ordered it? Yeah, back then, when Bush Sr. deployed the military, the governor of California asked him, okay? And now the difference is that no one asked Trump. Trump is just deciding to put the military on the street. What's the fucking difference? At the end of the day, the military is still on the fucking streets beating the shit out of protesters. There is no fucking difference. This has already happened. Oh my God. Look at this. You remember the riots after Rodney King trial? Look at that, Marines in Compton with their Humvees. This has happened many times before. Trump is not the first one to do it. And again, it makes no difference who the fuck ordered it. You think the people on the street who are protesting give a fuck if Trump ordered it or the governor ordered it? The military is still there. It's the same result. And this whole idea that, oh, our Constitution and the First Amendment, you don't have any fucking free speech. Look at what they do to journalists. They're trying to bring Julian Assange and put him in prison for 200 fucking years. What is this First Amendment you have? You don't have any fucking free speech. What fantasy are you living? Also, once again, it's this whole privilege that, look, man, Biden is better for us. Yeah, okay, because you're not black. But, dude, Biden wrote the fucking crime bill. Half of the reasons that people are outside protesting right now is because of Biden. He is the fucking problem. He is the reason Trump was elected, him and Obama. I really don't know how much, how much more I can explain this. But again, it's this whole American exceptionalism, like, oh, our Constitution, our rights. You don't have any fucking rights. You live in a fucking surveillance police state that, right in front of your eyes. They're beating the shit out of you. And this happened under Obama and Biden. They did the same fucking thing. There is no difference. You don't have fucking free speech. And again, like just notice how Crystal and Kyle, like for them, where they draw the line is if the US military comes into our streets. That's where they draw the line. Our streets. Not other people's streets, bombing other countries. No, that's okay. But if you put them in our streets, okay, now we're voting for Biden. You crossed the line. What the fuck? No, you don't understand. War, bombing other people is way fucking worse than cracking down on protesters in your own country. Those are two completely different fucking leagues apart. You should be offended at that one, at your military being in other countries. That's what should offend you, not the military being deployed in your country. God, I can't believe I have to explain this. What the fuck? Again, it's this American exceptionalism, this fucking privilege. It's like, oh, I don't give a fuck until it affects me. They know how bad Biden is. They know this shit. And now they're like, yeah, well, maybe. What the fuck? What do you mean, maybe? Maybe what? You want to vote for this war criminal piece of shit? Who wrote the crime bill? Mass incarcerated millions of people? Destroyed neighborhoods? Ravaged their lives? Started God knows how many wars? Oh, come on. Again, man, stop falling. Like, we can't keep going into this. Oh, you know, well, Biden isn't perfect, but Trump is worse. Orange Cheeto man bad. Always the same shit. The boogeyman, right? There's always another thing that's worse. Therefore, you have to vote for what? No, it's, you already had Biden. You've tested this guy. He was in the White House for 8 years. You know his record. Come on, man. Fuck this bullshit. Sheepdogging nonsense. Trump is bad. No, they're all fucking bad. But you don't know that because you're white and you're privileged. You haven't lived in the fucking places that suffered consequences of Joe Biden's actions. You don't know it. You don't understand it. If you did, you would never say the shit. I assure you. I assure you, you would not speak like that. Look, I'll show you again. Please pay attention. Okay?
Through the grapevine, no, this is not what we do. We're trained to kill. You don't deploy the U.S. military domestically. And by the way, that's not me saying you should deploy it overseas all willy-nilly like we currently do. No. It should only be used for self-defense. But deploying it at home, just so everybody understands, that's not something that's supposed to be within the realm of reasonable discussion or debate or discourse. That's
and neither should deploying the military in other people's fucking countries. Do you see the but? He's like, look, I don't think we should deploy it in other countries, but no, there is no fucking but. No, you should be just as outraged, just as offended, just as upset about your military being in other countries. Matter of fact, you should be even more fucking upset. People get fucking drone strike. They get their fucking limbs blown off. Do you understand what we're talking about here? This is a completely different ballgame. This is not where you should draw the line. Jesus Christ, man. I can't believe I have to explain this. Come on. Sorry. No, this is not okay. Say, oh, we come first. We come first. You know, if you put the military in other countries, yeah, we don't like it and it sucks, but oh my God, if you put them in our country, okay, now we're pissed off. You know, imperialism is not a side issue, it's the main issue. Like I said, every single thing that you want to go after Trump for, Biden has already done. There you go, man. That's it. So, and you know, just one last thing. It's really messed up watching Crystal talk about Biden like, oh, well, people need leadership in times of distress, and maybe Biden could be someone to look. What? What is Biden going to do? Fart on fucking camera and talk about corn pop? Oh my God. oh, just like a fucking platitude, you know, salad and soup, just awful stuff. Like nothing based on policy. Like, you know, fuck all the people that went to jail because of the crime bill. Fuck all the people that Joe Biden drone strike. Fuck all the people that have been maybe raped or sexually assaulted. No, fuck it, man. You know, Trump put troops on our street. I'm sorry. How the fuck does how are you okay with the other shit? How are you okay with the rest of Biden's record? That is 1,000,000 times more offensive than Trump putting the military in your fucking streets. 1,000,000 times more offensive. 1,000,000 times worse. Yeah, she did. And she was also saying, like, even Andrew Cuomo, she was like, yeah, he something, I'm paraphrasing, is like, he didn't handle it well, but he was still some kind of, you know, figure of leadership. What? Andrew Cuomo has the charisma of a fucking wet sock. What are you talking about? Oh my God, I can't believe these people are like, you know, testing the waters and making the case for Joe Biden. Have you lost it? Are you fucking right-wingers or something? Let me explain something to you. If you vote for Joe Biden, you are a right-winger. If you vote for any Democrat, you are a right-winger in the rest of the world. There's nothing special about you wanting Medicare for all. If you go to Europe, you go to anywhere other country in the rest of the world, even right-wingers support universal health care. What makes you a lefty? You know, our Constitution, our country. Oh, it's the best, you know. And if you put the military in our country, now you cross the line. No. If you're a lefty, you should be offended way before that. Way before that. You should be offended at your military being outside your borders. Your military belongs in America. It belongs on your streets. It doesn't belong in 800 bases across the planet. Okay? It does belong on your streets. It doesn't belong anywhere else. You know why? Because when you put it elsewhere, that's called imperialism. So if you're okay with that, look, please understand something. You could see when Kyle is talking, how offended, how angry he got. Like, he was saying, like, to put the military in our country, this is out of the question. I want you to be offended just as much when we're talking about imperialism. That's what I want. And that's the fucking difference, is that Kyle and Crystal are not offended at that level, and I am. That's the fucking difference. Do you get me now? Yeah, look, man, I'm gonna be straight with you. Listen. You guys need to fix the whole terminology, because I'm sorry, man. Look, if you're in America and you call yourself a leftist just because you support universal health care, that doesn't mean anything. I told you, if you go to Europe, right-wingers also support universal health care. There's nothing special about you at all. You're not a lefty just because you want universal health care. or to raise the wages. What the fuck? No. Where is the anti-imperialist shit? Like, there's barely anyone who constantly and consistently addresses imperialism and especially this American exceptionalism. Nah. You can hear it, man. Like, they're not, you know, Kyle and Crystal, they're not saying it explicitly, but they're saying it implicitly, right? Like, this is the red line. We draw the line here. No, that's wrong. You should draw the fucking line way before. That's what I'm saying. You should be just as offended way before.